And John has once again muted himself. He is preparing his item. Just doing a little commentary as we wait. The anticipation is killing me. Little drum roll.
All right. This is the stealth board. It's kind of like hard to demo it, but like if you can see there, it's got like a thing underneath it that pivots. So here, like I'll put it on myself. It pivots like this, and you do core on it. So like you do a plank, if you know what a plank is. And like, so it pivots, so it makes the plank harder, it makes it so you can do core. And then right there, if you can see that, that's where your phone goes. What is up, Modern Commerce listeners? I want to show you an amazing app we've been using called Triple Whale. You can check it out at trytriplewhale.com. It has all of the business health metrics and growth metrics you could possibly need all in one place, right? So everybody can get on the same page. This has revolutionized our ability to help grow brands and collaborate with brands. Everyone can get on the same page on the most important metrics. So if you're a media buyer, you could come into this and you can just use this little pin icon right here, and you can pin to the top the most important stuff to you. So if I'm a media buyer, I might have ROAS, I might have ad spend, I might have new customer ROAS, right? But if I'm an owner, maybe those things aren't as important to me. Maybe I just want, net profit, show me the net profit, show me the sales, right? Show me the number of orders. So everyone on the team can get in line, get, on the same page of what the most important growth metrics are, because it's different for every brand. So grab Triple Whale at trytriplewhale.com. Use it. I promise you it will make your growth path far more clear. And enjoy this episode of Modern Commerce.
Hey, Modern Commerce, welcome back. You're here with Casey and John as usual. And today we've got a fun type of episode going on. We're going to be showing and telling about some items that we've purchased ourselves from e-commerce ads, or really just we bought online. Let's just leave it at that. So the proof is in the pudding with this episode. We got by some other marketers, and we're marketers ourselves.
Some other marketer got us. Yes. No, I liked your way better. Got.
Yeah, we got.
This is good. We're both showing and telling. Yeah, I like show and tell day.
Yeah. It's going to be a fun time. We talk so much about like what I would say is like offense, like how to market to other people. Like sometimes it's good to hold up that mirror to yourself and be like, what actually works on me?
I'm going to be honest. Yeah. So all the stuff that I grabbed was like stuff that I got. Like sometimes I will like buy something because game respects game. You get what I'm saying?
Yup.
So one of my products is like, okay, this is a game respects game purchase. But for like two of them, one of them little like, with teaser here, one of them is actually one my wife bought. So I'm going to talk through her stuff. But like two of them are like, whether I was a marketer or not, I would have purchased this because they just did a good job of grabbing me, hooking me, targeting me like I wanted it. So yeah, honestly, like this is just the episode of like, do this. Here are examples. Do things like this.
I agree. Couldn't have said it better myself. Without further ado, let's get on into it. You know what we didn't decide before we started shooting, John? Who's going first?
I do. Yeah, I know.
I'm going first.
Okay, you're going first.
I just decided. Executive.
Yeah,
decision.
I was gonna do like a game, like an odds or evens type thing, but you're good. You got it.
I'm sorry to have ruined the game, but we're getting right into the good stuff quicker. So here we go. First example I have here. You have to enable screen sharing.
Yep.
For me, please,
I got you.
If you wouldn't mind, sir, kind sir. I'm actually going to be referencing back to a landing page or a page that we've referenced before on the show. I'll go ahead and put the card up so you can go back to that episode if you want. We talked a little bit more in depth about this style of page, so today we won't talk as much about the page itself as we will talk about what I bought basically from here. Okay, so let me go ahead and switch the setting a little bit here. There we go. Perfect.
Yeah, give us a little zoom. Give us a little zoom action too.
A little zoomy zoom?
Yeah, okay. give me a little zoomy zoom. There we go.
How's that?
There we go. 120. 120 was right where it needed to be.
Okay, yeah, that's a pretty good zoom for me. So quick overview on this page. So this is a cornhole page. It's for people who play cornhole. This is about cornhole bag speeds. It's got a whole scale here. If you play cornhole and you need yourself some bags, here's a free shout out for cornholeaddicts.com. They've got this speed scale where you can come and you can type it. We went through this on another episode. Like I said, click the card, do your thing. I'm going to go straight to the punchline here. The bags that I've preferred historically, Reynolds Bags. Reynolds makes some great cornhole bags. You can see here, it's got this whole layout of the different speeds. This is not a Reynolds website, obviously, but this is where I first bought my first set of bags, which were the Pro X's. At the time, I needed kind of a slowish bag and kind of a fast side to a bag too. So I actually have those here. My old Reynolds bags, which maybe we'll get a better look at when I stop.
The OGs of Casey's cornhole game.
Yeah, my Pro X's. I've kind of outgrown these bags a little bit now. They're a little too floppy. Whatever. You guys don't need to know why. But so that led me to going to the Reynolds site when I did all this research on all these different brands. At the time, I didn't know I preferred Reynolds, but for various reasons I won't get too into. I found these bags. Really decided I wanted to try them. But also, part of cornhole game is like, how do your bags look? And love Reynolds bags. Hadn't thrown them at this point, but I wanted to give them a try. They had earned my, my trust for a first time buy. But I didn't want to throw this look. Like, didn't like the style.
Real quick, can I just the way they earn your trust for a first time buy was by being like third party regarded, right? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So especially on this scale, like I had thrown bags similar to like this 4.9, and I knew that's kind of what I wanted. And I had just done other research, having this ACL Pro kind of endorsement and watching some cornhole on TV and stuff. Some of the pros I like throw Reynolds bags. So I was like, when I don't know enough, let's go with that, right?
Yeah, credibility through multiple sources. So that's it. It's like, yeah, sorry. I'll let you go through it first, and then we'll break it down.
Right. So as the story progresses, there's a little bit more that goes on too. So first bags, yeah, Pro X's here. Knew I wanted them. $54. I was fine with that. I was getting to throw quite a bit more. Throw them every week. That's well worth the price to me. I actually found a separate retailer who would do the same bags, the same Pro X's, but I had a little bit more freedom in what they looked like, and I like these a lot more. And yeah, as you can see here, that is what these look like. They're the same as I dropped them. They're the same bag that I just showed on the thing. Great bags. I enjoyed them. And here's the next part of the story. Reynolds actually earned my trust as a buyer. I appreciated those bags so much. I liked the purchase that I came back to the well, bought from Reynolds again. I'll bring those up in just a second here, but actually the retailer earned my trust too, because I also liked the design. So I went back the same process, found a new set of bags that I wanted from Reynolds, loved the quality product, loved the quality prints from the retailer, got this next set of bags, the Lightnings. And what I'll show here is real quick before we move on to our next thing here is just these other tabs I have pulled up to show same thing here. I went to found another bag I liked here on these Lightnings. I needed a little bit faster slow side. I didn't really need such a slow side anymore. I'm better at placing the bags now, so I could handle a little more speed. Wanted to try these new bags again. $54, great on reynoldsbags.com. If you like that, go buy those. But I don't mind paying the extra $10 to have what I would say is they're just cool looking bags. So that's part of it. John, that's my first item. Showed? Is that even right? I don't know. Anyway, what do you think about what I just showed you?
Yeah, so sorry, I muted because I had to cough, but yeah, no, so a whole lot just went on there.
Yeah.
So in terms of unpacking that, first up, I think third-party credibility is huge, especially if you're in a space where people take the stuff seriously. If you're in an equipment space where people see this as their equipment, their gear for things they do, so hunting, fishing, any kind of sport. Yeah, I mean, biking, I guess a lot of sports are coming to mind for me, but third-party credibility is huge. And actually, what I like that they did, they went through Cornhole Addicts. So, and Cornhole Addicts may have Reynolds may have not reached out to them, but this is a big play. Instead of trying to rank your own content at the top of searches, because that page probably gets a ton of search traffic, find aggregators who are aggregating, here are all the top of this, or here's a breakdown of what you need, or a guide or something like that. and like just get your products placed in those, because they already want to have the best content out there. They already want to rank at the top. They already are ranking at the top, so they want to continue to rank at the top. So get like reaching out to them is like a quick way to just get more traffic right away, right? So that's one thing. And third-party credibility is pretty huge. The other thing is that I noticed, like, and we're kind of speaking to the brand side. So in this scenario, we'd be speaking to Reynolds. The other thing that I noticed was like, I think that that's a really interesting way to retail. So like if you retail on Amazon or other online marketplace retailers or other retailers, period, like a lot of times your retailers can't beat you on price. That's part of your terms. But I think allowing ways for the retailer to differentiate themselves is pretty huge, right? So like exclusive designs or like different products or exclusive flavors, whatever. I think that's like a good play by Reynolds there, where it's like, yeah, you can come to Reynolds, you can get the OG bags, you can get the best price, these bags at the best price if you just want performance. But it's like, nah, man, if you want a little flavor though, like you can go to our retailers, right? And so the retailers get that kick, right? And then that keeps the retailers placing POs with them, which is what you want from your retailers. And it protects the retailer's margin and your margin. So super smart, I think. Those were my highlights or my like main like things from that I think are like worth imparting. What about you?
No, I dig it. I mostly said my piece as I was explaining the product. I like your feedback. Yeah, I think we're ready to move on to the next item. What you got for me? And John has once again muted himself. He is preparing his item. Just doing a little commentary as we wait. The anticipation is killing me. Little drum roll.
All right. This is the stealth board. It's kind of like hard to demo it, but like if you can see there, it's got like a thing underneath it that pivots. So here, like I'll put it on myself. It pivots like this, and you do core on it. So like you do a plank, if you know what a plank is. And like, so it pivots, so it makes the plank harder. It makes it so you can do core. And then right there, if you can see that, that's where your phone goes. So you can put your phone there, and it's not like a guided workout. It's actually like a game. So you can play a game where you're like flying an airplane or something like that, which is pretty cool. So I am going to pull up their ad here. Give me 1 second.
You can have all the seconds you need, John.
Okay.
We're on our own time. It takes how long as it takes. Like I'm pretty sure anybody who's watched our videos at this point, they've realized we don't have like a timed out format, like that we hit like the nail on the head every time. Various lengths.
All right, here we go. So for me, this was one of the ones that I was talking about where it's like, I saw this ad and there wasn't a game respects game thing. Like I was like, that's actually cool. And I saw a different ad than this. I think I actually saw the one on the product page. So I'm actually not going to use the ad here because I think that what I saw was like this in its entirety. But what I wanted to show you, I closed it already, was their copy. Their copy actually was the thing that hooked me. The lead on their copy was build your core strength while playing games on your phone, which I'm like, I play games on my phone, like when I'm waiting in waiting rooms and stuff like that. That's probably like not the best use of my time, but that is what I do. So it's like build your core strength while playing games on your phone. I am big on core strength. Like that's like, I'm definitely more of like a performance oriented body than like a good looking body. So but I think the actual ad itself was this, which is like kind of a longer ad.
Way to get a slimmer, stronger core and to sculpt dozens of muscles at the same time. But there's a big problem. Planks are boring.
So it goes on like that, but like, it had subtitles on it. So it was a little more Facebookized, but they were using that full video. And then this page, this is just classic direct response. Like, I don't think they have any other pages on their website. It's just this. And there you go, like $99. So $99, and then it has a connected app, but it's, yeah, I mean, it was straight up like saw the ad the first time and purchased. And yeah, they've got like a few games in there and stuff like that. Pretty happy with the purchase. I like it. I don't know. That's it. This was simple. Like this was like, I just was like, yeah, I saw the ad. I liked it. First time I ever saw it, I bought it.
Wow. That's pretty rare. I mean, that's pretty, in my experience.
Like that's what you're after, right? You know? So that's what I'm saying is like, I mean, I could go back to the ad, but it was just that hook of like build core strength while playing games on your phone. So it's just a value prop to the right person, right? So just like playing with those hooks, playing with those little copy hooks, like what is like the punchy value prop that you have, and just put that at the top of your copy or put it like on your video. It wasn't necessarily a visual or something like that. It was just like different value props. So I don't think they use that same ad anymore. But it wasn't the like actual video ad that got me. It was more just like that idea. I was like, that's a super good idea. And then it was just an ad that showed how it works. But once you told me that hook, I could look at how it works and be like, yeah, okay, I get it. You put your phone there and it moves around. All right, cool.
Yeah, I mean, first thing that comes to mind, I love that you said it's the copy that actually hooked you. I don't think we talk enough about copy, honestly. Copy's not always the sexiest thing compared to like, videos with strong visual hooks and stuff, but shout out to the copywriters. Good copy can get the job done, and it should.
Easy to test little things like that. You know what I mean? Really easy. Yeah. So, totally. But powerful.
And from that brand's point of view, like the actual product they created, props to them, because I thought that was, when you first showed that to me, I thought that was going to be one of those just guided things, which is fine. That's some people's jam. I like that it's gamified. I mean, in case you haven't noticed, if you're watching this video, we take a lot of marketing content and just gamify it more for your pleasure, or hopefully more for your pleasure. Some people might be like, man, I wish these guys would cut out all these hijinks and just talk about marketing. Yeah, but we tend to like that gamified fashion, so I like that product too. But the one thing that's sitting in my head that I don't know the answer to, John, I know you're not one of these people who buys workout equipment and then never uses it. How does it actually work? I mean,
it works well. Like, so legit, I mean, it has a thing where it's like, oh yeah, like, do you want to play a 1 minute game or a 2 minute game or a 3 minute game? So just for background, like, I was a pretty competitive track athlete, distance runner. I think I've said that before on the show, and I have a strong core. Like, I did a lot of core work. And so I was like,
John wants there to be a 10-minute option.
Yeah. I was like 3 minutes. That's like, but like, I had to put my knees down in the 3 minute game. Like, I could not, because it's a lot of moving, and like, it gets more and more intense. Like, a lot of the games are like a streak, so they're going to get more intense as you go. Right. So it's like, and your core is getting more tired. So yeah, like, it is a legitimately good product once you use it. And then, yeah, so I like got to give a lot of props to the product on that, because there was some they built some moat with that product, right? There's some development there with the app and stuff, with the product itself and the idea in general, like not to do a guided workout thing, but to like actually gamify it. I think that's really smart. So really a lot of the work here was done by the product. And then, all the advertising I had to do is just like pour fuel on the fire, which is what the best advertising does, is find the fire and pour fuel on it. And it was just testing hooks, testing that lead, that copy hook.
Totally. Well, round one in the books, successfully done. We've got a couple more rounds to go here. I want to say, I think you did a better job. I think you showed a better format. I should maybe not have gone first. I didn't know whether to screen share or show the product. I kind of jumped back and forth from both. I liked your style. Show the product first, then show what we've got for screen share. So staying true to that format. Next item I have here, what is this? Who knows? It's black and red case, right? This is actually headphones. Specifically, these are Beats headphones. And if you've watched other episodes of this podcast, you may have heard me kind of, I don't want to say bashing branding, but like, I mean, performance versus branding is a spectrum we've brought up on multiple episodes, and we both kind of tend to lean performance side, especially me. I'll speak for myself. But this is actually an example I want to call out. I think this is branding done well, and I can't even put my finger on it, right? The way I tend to do a lot of purchasing, let me rewind a second. In that marketer getting got by other marketers kind of mindset, I don't like when I just like see an ad for something and I get sold on it because of the ad I saw, and then ultimately
you like purposely try to avoid that, even if it's a thing you might want.
Right. Like, I try to refrain from that thing that you just talked about, where you're like, saw the ad, bought it on the first impression. Like, that pretty much doesn't exist in my life. But this is actually like -1 impressions, kind of like this was a totally branding play. I needed headphones. And I just thought to myself, like, well, what's a good headphone brand, right? And Beats was the first one that came to mind. Good branding on their part. It just sparked in my head.
Top of mind, position. Yep.
Right. And yeah, so I like to do a little research throughout it, but the other websites that I went to, the deals they were promoting, they couldn't really stack up to the value prop that I found on Beats, and ended up with some headphones that I really liked. I'll go ahead and share my screen now and show you I don't believe the offer that I bought is still active. Actually, no, it's not. I don't know why I'm saying I don't think it is. But I'll show you here. Can you see my screen, John?
Yeah.
Sorry, the view we have here, I don't necessarily get to know. So yeah, one thing I'll say to this is like very clean, and I think when you're in that mindset where you're like, they just have to not lose my sale. They don't have to earn my purchase anymore, right? Like I already went like, what's a good headphone brand? Like it's their game to lose. So when I come here, I see exactly what I want to see. I see there's the product, simple, clean layout. They're not overselling. I know when I buy this, I'm not going to be like, man, I really wish I wouldn't have bought those. Like they got me. Like it's not like that at all. And honestly, I believe the deal that I bought on, you can see these are like, I think they're $200 normally. I think the deal that I purchased them on was like buy two and save $100. So I actually got a set for my fiance too. So like, I ended up spending more money than I expected to, but I am happy with the product. And I don't know how to quantify this. Obviously there were many impressions where they drilled Beats into my brain, but I want to say that was from like years ago, and like I haven't seen a Beats ad in years, but they did a good job, because when I thought I need headphones, I went, let's go Beats. John, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, look, top of mind position is actually pretty important. And when you have it, you'll notice that all of the other stuff you do just converts really well and really easily. Like Beats, if you look in Beats Facebook ads library, it probably doesn't look that good. Like, well, sorry, it probably looks very well branded. It probably looks really good, but as performance marketers, we'd probably be like, oh, they're heavy on brand. But I bet if you look inside their ad account, it converts like crazy, right? Because they just have that top of mind position. So they run an offer, if they run a sale, they just make good looking ads, put them out there, and people already know, right? So they already have like almost everyone is being retargeted at that point. So that's what I mean. It's like when you have the top of mind position, every ad you run is a retargeting ad. So I've experienced this before in local, right? So I worked for a really large auto group in my area, and nobody in this area hasn't heard of them, right? So every single ad we run, it's always retargeting. And so it converts like crazy. And there's not like, that's it, that I can't overstate that. That said, getting top of mind position is pretty hard. It's pretty, maybe I would say unrealistic for most like bootstrapped DTC brands.
Sure. I mean, Beats by Dre is a thing, right? Like,
right.
It's not even like an endorsement, right? It was actually created by Dre. So like That's huge. And like I said, that whole like, I think he even sold a while ago, right? Like, so when I'm talking like these are ads, they did their job getting in my brain years ago. I mean, that's the truth. I don't remember seeing a Beats.
They're kind of like the first disrupt. Like I couldn't have named a headphone brand before them. You know what I mean? Bose maybe, but like it's just like, oh, there's headphones.
They're like a whole audio equipment brand though. Beats like not in the game with that.
Well, it was like, okay, there's like headphones, and then there's like, okay, but then there's also like Beats by Dre that are like really good headphones, and now there's a bunch of those that like have really good headphones or whatever, but they were like the first ones to like differentiate between like, oh, headphones are a thing that you like put on your ears to listen to something. It doesn't matter, like they're as good as they are good, like that's just what they are. To Beats going like, nah, that's not how, like these are next level, at least in the consumer space. Before that, I bet it was all really just like in the professional space, recording artists and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of like a next, they're a disruptor in their way before disruptor brands were like really a thing,
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think for a lot of people, we talk about like Life Force 8. I more bought Beats because I just wanted to like know I was getting something quality. And like I said, the price was a little more than I expected to pay, especially for two sets. It ended up being a Christmas present for my fiance anyway, so it was two birds, one stone. It's fine. But a lot of people, that Life Force 8 conversation, something about Beats is like that status too, right? Like that keeping up with the Joneses. Like it's the same thing when Apple first came out with their white what was the first? Just headphones, I guess, or earbuds. I guess that's what the
Like
first
the
thing, right?
AirPods, the ones that are
No,
wired?
before, like way back in the day when
Yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
the first
Okay.
white in your ear. Like
Right.
people were like,
Like they
"What
didn't
are
go
those?"
over. They didn't go over the head, and they didn't hook around the ear or anything. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's like it's the same kind of thing. You're like you see Beats or back in the day when you'd see those old school earbuds, you'd be like, wow, that's something. Like
Yeah.
so anyway.
Yeah,
That
for
was
sure.
that was my second round, John. What you got?
All right. Let's see. Where are we gonna go with this? We'll go to Game Respects Game.
Let's go.
Disco skincare brand, primarily originally focused on men. I don't know what actually is the right way to hold this. But
Yeah.
I haven't bought like a disco kit or anything like that. Specifically, I just bought the under eye product, right? So that's it right there. And it's just like you kind of like put it like that under your eyes, and it's supposed to get rid of dark circles. It has like some, I don't know, lavender and caffeine and stuff like that in it. So it kind of feels like refreshing when you put it under there. There's a little smell that sort of gets you going, I suppose. But this was Game Respects Game because I'll show you the ad that got me. Show you how I got here, which was like, I just was like, yeah, no, look, I mean, so, and I kind of purposely do this so that I get more e-commerce ads. Like every now and then I'll buy something just because I see an ad and I'm like, it's a good ad. And I want Facebook to show me like more good ads so I can get more ideas.
Yeah.
So here it is, like already just the thumbnail.
Skincare has been a mess for me. Disco makes it nice and simple and easy. Here's the Disco eye stick. Put it on just like this. It feels super hydrating. When it gets cold, it feels.
Yeah. So for mine, it was actually like a different like UGC, but it was that just hook. It was the hook in the coffee cup. It was a different copy as well. It was, I don't know what copy it was, but it did have this stuff like get rid of that. Like, and again, like, so there's a little bit of a cross section here because like, I don't get the best sleep and I do like have bags under my eyes pretty often. So there's a little cross section there, but it did have that stuff in the copy. And it had that like disco in the coffee cup, like with coffee pouring on it hook. And that was mainly it. Like, that's mainly what I mean. But then it had like a different UGC guy. And he like just emphasized the, like how it gets rid of the bags under your eyes. So that was the pain point for me. So again, hook, pain point, but they're obviously testing like different pain points here. Like it feels good on your skin. It's refreshing and stuff like that, you know, whereas my guy was just like, look, there were bags under my eyes. I put this on and they go away. And I think he kind of like, it didn't show before or after, but it showed him on a day with bags and it showed him on a day without bags probably. And so, yeah, it was pretty much a lot of the heavy lifting was done by the ad. And this is for like a very branded brand. This is a pretty skewed performance ad, which I love, but look at the combo. So very skewed performance with like coffee cup pouring, very UGC feel, having this wakes me up more than coffee. I had a different hook here too. It was like, this gets rid of under eye, like this gets rid of bags under your eyes or something like that. You know, very, very DR direct response ad here, but then the lander. See, I love the 1-2 punch of performance and branding. And then also just like this angle of a lander, it's a sales page, but a sales page with this sort of like wrinkle of 5 reasons why skincare skeptics need to try the disco eye stick. You could try different headlines there. So instead of just being like disco eye stick buy, right? Like you're actually like bringing people in more with the headline. And this copy right here is plenty. You know what it is by the time you've read this copy, especially if you read the ad at all. Like if you're someone who just needs to know what it is and understand what it does, it's very easy to understand, but we can go through the 5 reasons, right? And like really solid, nice put together page, highly branded, like really great branding there. So that 1-2 punch, great performance branding combination there.
I want to say, I think precursor to everything I'm about to say, I think I'm probably in the market for this too. So
yeah,
again, we can like dote over products that we would actually buy ourselves a lot easier than like products we aren't in the market for. But I'll say this, I mean, starting with the lander here, because I want to get back to the hook on the ad too, but we'll start here at the lander. Yeah, this is like a mashup of just a bunch of different, like it's got a trial, It's got
Got it's got a great offer. It's got a listicle. Yeah.
Right, exactly. It's 5 reasons. Like, that's crazy for a product page. I mean, crazy and like
it's a
not
custom
normal.
it's a custom lander. There's no top menu.
Right.
Like,
And like even the first of all, it's not just a square product picture there. And I love this sounds dumb probably, but like the pedestal that's on, and then down below there's also that stone there. This is like, it's just the branding you're talking about here. It's hitting the nail on the head, because it's like it's not making the mistake of like appearing too feminine. Those very masculine things. So like the
yeah,
stone,
especially when
the
they're
pillar,
using
but it's not just masculine. It's masculine, like a put together masculine. And the guy in the ad represents that very well. Whatever you were gonna say, go ahead. I want to speak.
Yeah,
to
like their whole thing is like it's skincare for men. So it's like they're riding this line of like, we gotta like appeal to a certain kind of avatar. It's like you look, you don't want to care too much. Like, it's like an eye stick, right? Like, yeah, you got bags under your eyes, and maybe you're like 30, whatever. That's probably how old I was. You didn't used to get those, when you're 20. So here's just like something that will help. Like, most men don't want to commit to like a skincare regimen, but here's just like something that will help with that issue, without you having to like care too much about your skin.
And if we're being honest, like
still make you appear sort of put together. And it's a tripwire offer, if we're being honest, right? Like, it's a trial. So, and Disco has like a whole like, so, okay, like here's the sort of like, here's the tripwire, here's like the way to get into it. But then once you use it and stuff, like, why not use this or this or this, or like these different, so they bring you in that way. And then they have your, then your information's in the Twitterverse. No, then they have, then you're in their owned media. You're there in their owned audiences, and they can like educate you and talk to you more about other like skincare products and why skincare is important for men.
So, if you wouldn't mind clicking back to the ad real quick, if we're being honest too, by the way, the like feminine version of this, like, which there's probably what 10-1 in the market for, like,
not
right?
Yeah, in the market, but not with Disco specifically.
No,
yeah.
right, exactly. But like, were you ever going to convert on an ad with a woman from like a Maybelline or something?
Nope.
No. So
yeah,
this
they're
is
not
where,
getting their avatar. Yep.
yeah, exactly. They nailed it. And I want to go back to this hook real quick before we move on, because this just hits a weird chord with me from something that happened today. This. Okay, so this might not have been the hook you saw in the ad that actually made you purchase, but
this was the hook. Specifically, I wanted to emphasize the hook.
Yeah, and
like,
this
was the game respects game thing where I was like, that's a great hook.
Right. And I want to point out that this hook makes no sense, right?
Yep.
This wakes me up more than coffee. That makes sense. I like that selling angle. Having the stick in the coffee with the coffee rolling down makes no sense. There's no reason why that should work. And it's played in reverse. I'm like, it's brilliantly thought out, but they didn't overthink it to the point where they go like, why would we put it in the coffee? That makes no sense. This reminds me of a pitch I literally did earlier today, where we have a baby brand, and they sell baby products. One of the products they sell is like a swaddle, and I was doing ad spying on competitors, and I could not ignore one video where this guy who worked at some like wildlife place was swaddling little baby kangaroos, and that had all the friggin' social interaction you could possibly imagine. And I was like, hey, I'm not trying to push this crazy idea, but like maybe we take some puppies or whatever and swaddle them. I don't know, like, because in my mind I'm like,
this is the hook.
The
you know what I mean?
Like, the hook needs to make partial sense, and that's about it. Because that first 2-3 seconds, that's grab the attention, then do all the selling after that. So I just want to double down on what you said, the importance of that hook, and that you don't need to overthink. It doesn't need to be the perfect representation of what your product is. It doesn't need to make 100% sense. It needs to be attention grabbing, and it needs to just evoke some emotion. That's it.
It needs to be attention grabbing and then lend itself to a bridge. So here's a nice little bridge hook too, where it's like, here's another sort of jarring close-ups of face with this dude, like with this weird face, like, but then we can like, so hook, and then that leads to this, and then that leads to this. That's what we mean when we say like the hook to the bridge, right? And then we're selling the product, then we're into it. So it can be quick,
Totally. I've got, so we're halfway through now, right? We each did 2?
Yep, we've each done 2. Okay,
cool. So I'll go ahead and jump in. I'll try to go a little fast. Sorry, I had a lot to say about that last one. I didn't think I would, but you had shown me that product before.
That was, I've shown you the product before, but that was like very much like, I probably wouldn't have bought that if it wouldn't have been like, okay, this was a great ad, you know?
I mean, we've been friends for what, 20 years almost? Like, and usually your endorsement, the way you would pitch me a product would be stronger than I could ever see it, you know, for their ads or whatever, I'd be like, oh, John says it's good. That's the UGC I want, right? And the testimonial I want. But that actually, I'm like, oh, when you told me the first time, I would have never bought it probably. But like, that's kind of cool. I get it. It probably would be useful. I get some bags too. But actually seeing that now, I'm like, maybe I do want that. They did a really great job. So
Yeah.
went a little long on that one, but yeah, good example. My next one up actually is True Classic Tees. I am wearing a True Classic tee right now. But rather than take the shirt off my body to show you, I have another one here. I do own more than one.
This was going to be one of mine, and then it was also one of Casey's. So True Classic also on my list.
Yeah, True Classic Tees. Way to go, guys. If you don't know about True Classic Tees, they're just t-shirts, but they're soft for one, and they're cut in a way that's a little bit more flattering for, let's say, the modern man who sits at his desk all day, right?
Who has a dad bod.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great way to put it. It's for dad bods. And not just for them. If you have a nice body, you'll look great in them too, obviously.
Yeah, that's true. Like if you
look great in everything. So
you look good in everything though. But yeah, if you've got a dad bod, like the True Classics are top notch.
Yeah, and rather than just do more to sell our audience on it right now, I'm gonna just go straight to showing you what got me. I actually have two ads here. This is actually, so I brought it up before, but I'm a heavy YouTube user. So these are actually going to be YouTube ads. This is their homepage. I will say this before we go to the actual ads themselves. They're this, like, you know, a lot of clothing brands do this, but because they're such plain shirts, these really lends themselves to bundling, and I've bought multiple different bundles from them because I go like, oh yeah, I like this. I want more of that color. Like once you fall in love with the way this shirt fits, you know, and there's no other distinguishing thing, you just want the different colors, you know. And to be honest, I've bought 2 different 6-packs. One of the 6-packs had 3 black shirts in it because I was like, that's my jam. Like, give me this nice cut black t-shirt. I have 4 of them. So there you go. Okay, to the ads. These guys do a great job of using humor, and I'll just let the ad speak for itself here. Oh,
you need more volume.
Can you hear?
No, you need more volume.
Okay, hold on. I'll go ahead and do this little Jimmy thing.
But yeah, point your mic at it.
I think I'm a good-looking guy, but I have these noodly arms. Look at them. Well, dude, your t-shirt fits you terribly. You should wear True Classic tees. They'll fit you perfectly. Whoa, these are so much better. Now I just got to do something about this gut. I just heard about this company, True Classic Tees. Go on. Apparently, they fit you perfectly. These are incredible. Who told you about these? Saw them in an ad that we're doing right now.
Yeah.
So again,
they do that with their Facebook ads too.
They know their audience, right? Like dad bods, dad jokes. They're intentionally breaking that fourth wall for anybody who makes content. You're just looking right at the camera, talking to the people out there. I love how he tells them about it, instantly forgets that he's the one who's like, it's just nonsense. Again, kind of back to that same lesson. It doesn't always have to make perfect sense. It has to be entertaining, engaging, and make you want the product. That's it. Next one up here.
Oh yeah, this is my favorite one. This one's the one I saw on Facebook.
I was just gonna try to pull up
like if I were to emphasize, or if I were to show the True Classic, this would have been the Facebook ad I showed.
I had to bring it up. But if I'm being honest, this is more how they got me, because like I said, I am not a see one ad, buy one product guy. I am inundate me with friggin' 30 ads in a row, and I like every single one. And I go,
if you've made Casey laugh with multiple ads, he probably will buy from you eventually.
That's the way to go. All right, here we go. Let me get my mic in position here. Hello.
So fat. Brendan, you're not fat. It's the shirt. Look at Nate. His True Classic is tight around the chest and shoulders and arms, and then it tapers off towards the bottom.
Nate also has 6-pack abs.
The point is, the shirt doesn't highlight your best attribute.
What are my best attributes?
You're a really good dad.
Yeah, I am.
Come on, right? Okay. Okay, guys. So, by the way, YouTube, True Classic Tees, please do not ding our YouTube account for showing YouTube videos. Like, I just got to throw that. I don't know. We're trying to help you sell your products here at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I like them. I'm a fan. We're both fans. Come on.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, humor. They know their audience. That's probably the biggest thing that I'm taking from that. I also didn't mean to, but if I'm being honest, foreshadowing to the next product too, I had different like first engagement with all the different products that I've shared today. Found them on different places, right? Like so, like the first one was search. The second one was like just recall from years of branding into my brain. This one was a YouTube ad, and foreshadowing the next one's going to be a Facebook ad. So
There you go. Finally, Facebook.
anything else you want to add to this one before we move on?
No, man. I think you got it.
All right, let's go.
I'm gonna switch it up here, and I'm gonna go with actually the one that my wife bought, and give you like her psychology, because she actually found it a different way than me. Like I'm like see ad buy product. That's my jam for online purchasing, unless it's something specific that I want. Like when I buy my basketball shoes, then I do different kind of research and stuff like that. But all right, so here we go. It is muslin comforter, oversized for a king bed. We sleep on a king. So it's just like a specific kind of cotton comforter. I'm not going to go into selling you like muslin cotton because it's pretty legit. You should look it up. Muslin Comfort is the name of the brand, like MUSLIN Comfort. So, but this is how my wife found them. So they're very comfortable comforters, but they're like not too hot. And how my wife found them was we were staying at a hotel, and she was like, I love this comforter. And so she was like, how do I get like a hotel bed, right? In my house? Like I want a hotel bed on my bed. So she started like actually doing research around like, what are these like different comforters that the hotels use? She figured out that this muslin cotton is like a really common one that hotels use, because they usually have like a down comforter and a muslin cotton comforter. And that covers like everybody in every range of like temperature for sleeping and stuff like that. Just like they have like multiple types of pillows usually in hotels. So she like learned through research that they use this, and that was how she found this brand, Muslin Comfort. And so like I can just show you the homepage and like the product page, but then like what sold her is like basically it's just like, for her it was like, oh yeah, that looks like the hotel bed. That's what I want my home bed to look like, is a hotel bed, like comfortable like that. Oh, it's machine washable. Like, and my wife is super visual, so like she doesn't want to read whether it's machine washable. She's curious. If you don't like just show her it's machine washable, she's like probably not going to buy right now, because she's like, oh, I got to read all these words. No, that she's not about that, right? Like she's like, oh, it's machine washable. That's cool. Oh, like we get to cuddle in it. That's cool. Like I like that, like, oh, my husband will start looking like that instead of how my husband looks. I like that. So yeah, like this is, so, I mean, and then they have the oversized, they have the different colors. So she just, she was able to find exactly the color she wanted. I think she actually got a couple colors, so that we have like different, our bed has like different looks, like we like dress our bed differently. Like we dress our children differently. Yeah. So that's, I mean, like, again, going back to that search, like I think she found them on like a third-party site, like an Apartment Therapy or BuzzFeed or something like that. And that's like how she found the brand. So again, like when people are in the research phase, they're already like going back to this same thing. Like you can create your own content and build your own SEO around that, which is, you totally should do that. Like that's, I'm not saying that's not worth it, but like you can really speed up the process by figuring out the research terms that lead people to you, like the fat head ones, the ones that get tons of search volume, and find the stuff that already ranks for that on third-party sites. Just figure out how to get placed there. It might be a pay-to-play thing. I mean, maybe that's worth it, and it, like where she found them, I'm thinking about it's probably like BuzzFeed or Apartment Therapy. It probably was a pay-to-play thing. Like if we're being honest, probably was, or at least they paid a PR company or something like that, right, to get them there. So yeah, that's it really.
Yeah, man. Couple call outs I have, mostly about your analysis of that, because good analysis. Let me just give you a little round of applause there. I'm like trying to get into my wife's psyche. There's probably something deeper there, but that's it. I'm sure there's things deeper in your wife's psyche. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, one, I'm super glad you I'm super glad we're screen sharing and showing these things, because honestly, if somebody were to tell me I want my bed to be like a hotel bed, I mean, maybe you probably just say nicer hotels than me, but I'm like, I don't
I don't
that
want
could
that.
mean a lot of things.
Yeah.
About the quality of the stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm not.
Right.
I've slept in some hotels where I think the exact opposite. I wish I was
Right.
in
Right.
own bed.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point.
Clearly,
Good
yeah,
point.
no, clearly that had like, you know, she was chasing an experience, and she found something that could deliver on that. And one of the points I wanted to bring up here that you've said before is like, people don't always follow these like nice, neat paths to purchase that we create for them. It reminds me of like, you know, you can do all the landscaping in the world, right? And you like make this nice like rock path, like you know, path like lined with rocks, and you got like your nicely trimmed like edged lawn.
You got like
around it.
lights you got
And-
like lights lining it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have like kids over, your kids' friends over, or like you have a barbecue or something in the yard, and people are
They
just
walk
like,
through the garden.
you have rocks everywhere and stuff. Hey, you're like, what is going on? Flowers are trampled, like you're saying, like, and you're like, I was just trying to go inside to go to the bathroom, and you're like, there is literally a walkway. Like, come
Yeah.
on, and
Yeah.
that's a good example.
That's how people purchase products.
Exactly. Like, there's gonna be some of those people like you, and you do it more intentionally as an exercise, like see ad, buy product to get more of those good ads. That's not the normal thing, right? Think of it like you're having a blowout barbecue in your yard, and you have 50 people over. How many people are going to use that path to go inside to use the bathroom? You, just you. Like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
halfway through, let's be honest, you're gonna be like, why would I even do this?
Yeah. Now what's the point? Yep.
So that research phase you talk about, I mean, again, in my experience, that's probably twice as long for me as any, like most other people. Like, I will find something like those beats. Had I found something that was comparable for a decent price that I was like fairly confident in, I probably would have delayed my purchase for another week, you know, and like thought about it, you know, lost sleep over it, come back, research, add in another competitor. But anyway, I just wanted to call out those points. And the machine washable was the last point. The way that you explain that, illustrating it with a picture, to be like, peek behind the scenes, I don't actually work on that brand in our agency, so I hadn't intellectualized that like that. But that illustrating that point, that machine washable, some people won't read the text. What?
Yeah.
Won't read the text that we put on the product pages?
Oh, it's machine washable. They didn't know that. Like, and she didn't even think about, she would have thought about it late. She probably wouldn't have purchased right then.
Right.
She would have been like, oh yeah. Well, and then later she'd have been like, oh, I wonder if I have to get it like dry cleaned, because like it's a hotel, like, or they probably have like super good they probably like hang up their comforters or something, like, you know what I mean? Like, she would have, because I think it was like a nice hotel specifically that we came across that comforter, like not even like nice in the category of like the stuff I usually stay in. That's like, I don't know, Hampton Inns. I think like we specifically stayed at like a resort for our anniversary or something like that. Yeah, like she probably would have purchased right then, but then like they answered a question that she was going to have before she even had it.
Yep.
That makes sense, right? Like, and they did it visually, and she's like not going to read words. So that's huge. Like, just, it's a little thing for them. So if they're just looking for little things like that, we're like, what can we illustrate with our product photos so that like somebody could probably look through our product photos that's just a visual person and not have to look through the bullet points of the product to understand the specs.
That's such a strong visual too. And I hadn't thought about it like that. Like I said, I don't work on that. That could be the ad image, you know, like
right, for like a retargeting ad. Like, once you have the context,
sure.
probably, you know,
if it's an ad, you know, focusing on the benefit of machine washable, I mean, obviously that goes well together. But like, yeah, it does it without having to read, which that's so many more people every day, right? Like,
and that, like, I a lot of times, so they have so many product photos. Think on your phone. Like, a lot of times I'll look through product, like a couple. If I was buying a comforter, I'd, well, okay, yeah, that looks good. Like, think about what my wife wanted. She wanted a hotel bed at home. So she wanted to look at a lot of pictures of it. Like, she's the person that when we're like buying a house, she sees the listing on Zillow, she'll look through all 120 pictures of the listing, and like try and orient herself in there and figure out where, and I'll like maybe zoom through like 20 of them before I'm like, yeah, it looks cool. You know, I just need to see it in person. Right. So like, but yeah, to illustrate, if you could like basically be like, if you never read this page and just scrolled through these pictures, you'd have all the information you need and you would be more sold than when you got here. It's like a very good way. And like the way you order your pictures too, people don't think about it, but, and maybe it doesn't matter a ton, but I know for a fact that Muslin has a really strong conversion rate. And I think that's why, like, they probably have someone there like that, like my wife, who's like an Instagram person who like wants it all communicated visually.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, disclaimer too. They are an agency client. Not all of these brands are.
But you guys had purchased that before.
We had purchased it before they became it. Like I was like, oh yeah, it's these. Yeah, these. I know these. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I like looking at it. Like she found that she had that experience she wanted to recreate at home every day, and she got it. And it seems like that was kind of one of their like strategies a little bit. Like each product or each photo kind of did that job of like, hey, this is what you're looking for, right? And then here's why you buy it. And
this is what you want to experience in your home. Yeah.
You know, I can only imagine she's got you waking up early, making her breakfast so she can have that free breakfast like hotel experience.
Right. Yeah. Like I bring her room service every day. Yeah,
Yep.
totally.
Right. So that comes.
We don't get woken up by our kids at 5 a.m. jumping on us. Yeah.
Right.
That never happens.
Totally.
Right, you're up, right?
That's
Last
me.
product?
This
Casey?
is the last one I got.
Okay, go for it.
Last one, and this is a great segue. We didn't plan this out, but this was actually a combo one too. Me and my fiance. So
Nice.
I'll be honest. She bought this product first for a specific reason, and I fell in love with it. And now we'll buy multiple. We've bought multiple. We will continue to buy. We're fans. And it's high key. See what I did there? High key. High key snacks. It was a high note. High key. I don't know.
It's a good one.
High key snacks. Right now I've got the vanilla wafers. Only because I mean they're great, but I would have grabbed the chocolate chip cookies, but they're gone, and that's on me.
They have been consumed.
Yeah. I mean I think they initially got sprung kind of by the keto craze. They are, I mean, just looking at the packaging here, probably better to pull this up on screen share, but they have 1 net carb. You know, they're keto friendly, they're gluten free. There are a lot of those like selling points that are not just trendy. They're like kind of just the way the space has evolved. They're always going to be around. I feel like now, like those kinds of talking points. People care a little bit more about their nutrition nowadays than they used to. And net carbs, they're speaking all the right language, right? And if I'm being honest, personally, I couldn't care less. I eat things that taste good, but they enter our household because my fiance does care. She bought them because they're low net carbs, and then she was like, "Hey, quit eating my low carb snacks." And I'm like, "Buy less tasty snacks." Like that's just the answer.
You gotta buy the low carb stuff that doesn't taste good, and I will stop eating it. Yeah.
Casey's gonna eat it. You know, this is a generous like size too. I don't know if it's meant to be a single serving. It's not all that much. It's 2.25 ounces. It says it's 2 serving sizes. Again, it's not a selling point for me specifically, but after I do eat one of these, it's a little more like I don't feel so bad for sure. I feel like, oh, it was made to consume this whole thing. It's not that bad for me. That's a plus for me. But the taste, I personally, they use almond flour in their ingredients, and something about the way almond flour products taste, I love it. I have done keto in the past, so I only know that because I have attempted the keto diet more in the past. I think that's the right way to put it. Attempted. And I'm like, almond flour is delicious. So I'll go ahead and screen share here just what I've got pulled up for them. Because yeah, after again, research phase, you know, after I already knew I loved this, I was like, I got to see what's going on here. And obviously for this episode, I had to like look for the right things. I did pull.
I love the long copy. You don't see a lot of long copy in e-com. Sorry, I just called it out quick. Give us a little zoom too.
A little zoom, no problem.
There we go.
We go there. All right. So yeah, long copy here. I can't really get the copy and the video in all at once, but it's very keto based copy. You can see when it's from too. Keto craze is in no way over, but they've got a lot of selling points here. Honestly, the biggest differentiator between this, I've already brought it up, and other like keto types of snacks or low carb snacks, is the taste. They taste incredible. Honestly, think like, especially the mini chocolate chips they have, it is very similar to like a Chips Ahoy kind of cookie, and honestly better in my opinion. Different strokes for different folks, but this was the ad I wanted to pull up to show, because at this point I am just kind of trying to find an ad that I think illustrates something in marketing I want to talk about. And what I like about this ad is that they've got this like thread of milk coming through, which I have not experimented with, like doing the cereal version of this basically, which seems delicious. Honestly, I now want to.
Yeah, like now that you showed me that, I was like, that's a great idea. I want
Yeah.
that right now.
Yeah, I'll do that on my next one, milk and cookies. My next order, I'll definitely make sure to try this. But I do think this is a strong visual hook. Kind of totally different from like how we were talking about like the disco stick. Strong visual hook. This one makes a lot of sense. And that's actually the whole ad. It just repeats over and over again. It's just
Yeah. There's the hook, only 2 grams net carbs with something that looks that good. And think about it's long copy, right? So it's like they don't sell in the ad because it's like, no, the ad is designed to be a strong visual hook to make you stop and then read the copy.
Yeah. And honestly, yeah, the video just kind of being the hook. And I mean, it still tells you what it is. It's not nonsensical. It's doing its job. Like you said, there's plenty of good info here. And I mean, you look at that, and if you do know what they taste like, especially like you're going to the next page, you're gonna go see what it looks like.
And can I actually even have you click on the ad, because it looks like they go to a 5 must-haves. They go to a kind of a bridge page.
Yeah.
Yep.
A little pre-sale.
5 tips before starting keto. So again, just need to get somebody get them to stop, get them to click. That's it.
That is it. And these guys, again, the brands I tend to like. Again, I'm not always the biggest on branding, but if I do have a preference for branding, it's just like a clean, like not messy, like, and that's what I see.
I like their cookies pop up too, by the way.
Oh, that I just closed.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have some interesting stuff going on here. It's very well branded, clean site. They just got this like soft gradient background. Everything about their brand is just like very clean looking. FOMO NOMO, a little wordplay. Why not? Casey's a bit of a fan.
Yeah, the wordplay is going to work for Casey for sure.
I have not tried these. I won't say what the obvious competitor would be, but I am a fan of the competitor of this product, and I will be trying this product now. Now that I know they exist. They've got all kinds of stuff, but like I said, I can speak mostly for the vanilla wafers are great. The mini chocolate chip cookies, life changing. I mean, yeah, they changed my life. So yeah, they're life changing.
Yeah.
They've got this little character. I don't know how to make him pop up and not pop up. It looks like he's got a mind of his own. He's the like sugar panda, I've come to realize, and
he just hangs out there and like peeks out at you.
Yeah. Oh, small
guy.
Small like backstory on this, by the way. I don't know for sure, but I think I've seen as I was looking for ads for this, the sugar panda makes plenty of appearances. I think he's voiced by Ryan Reynolds, and Ryan Reynolds made it very hard for me to find what I was looking for earlier for the Reynolds Bags, because Ryan Reynolds is everywhere and the name is spelled the same way. That's neither here nor there. Anyway, high key cookies, very delicious. I'm happy with the buy. It wasn't even my buy originally, and oh, look at that banana cream. I want those too. Yeah, John, what do you think about this? I kind of just hit you with a lot all at once.
And so like there's a lot of subtle things on this website. How many pounds of sugar eliminated up in the top right corner there? That's cool. The other thing is like, I think a lot of DTC consumables do this thing where they use colors instead of white. And these guys do too, but like not overly so. Like sometimes it's like, there's no white on this site. And I feel like that almost like de-emphasizes the product a little bit too much. Right. So, using like not to get too heavy into branding. But yeah, I mean, I kind of spoke to the ad already. Like, it's coordinated well, right? So we're going strong visual hook. There's some information there in the copy. Lots of people might not read the copy. So we're going to click through to a pre-sale, and it's a pre-sale that just rolls right into a sales page, right? So it's like, there's you can buy right there at the top. There's plenty of opportunities to buy above the fold. And then if you get through the pre-sale, you're pretty sold by now. Here's your keto starter bundle. Like, unavailable.
It looks like it's popular,
Right. Yeah. So they sell out often. It looks like
that might not be.
I think this might not be might have been like an old ad, right? It looks like.
Yeah. I went through back channels, ad spying, doing the thing. So.
Yeah. So no, I mean, I don't know, not much more to say. So this is another key for consumables is exactly what you're saying. Like you're going to go back and purchase more. So I would say actually that's like the biggest point of emphasis for consumables is that they can actually afford to probably acquire Casey at a loss.
Absolutely.
On the front end, right? Like if he makes a $50 purchase on his first go around, they could probably afford $60, $70 to acquire him, 75, I don't know. That's huge. That's like really huge because that's like where real growth comes. Like think about another snack brand that doesn't have as good of a product that people won't come back to and purchase over and over again. They're not going to be able to pay as much to afford to acquire, Casey. So how much better their ads going to have to be, right? And it's High Key can go see all their ads. They can copy their ads. You know what I mean? This is like it's in trying to be better at like converting people on that first click on that see ad buy, like I do. Trying to get better and better at that. There's a really strong point of diminishing returns on that in competitive markets and after you've grown for a little while. So actually having like a strong enough product and strong retention and strong LTVs, that's kind of like the key really that's the high key.
Oh, he did it. He went there.
You go.
To that point too, I will say having multiple SKUs, I mean, they're much more than just like a mini cookies brand. I like I said, I haven't done a deep dive on this brand as much. It was on my fiance buying them, and I could only speak for the two flavors, the vanilla wafers and the chocolate chip. But as I'm looking through that, there's things I gotta try now, and that adds so much to the LTV conversation you're talking about, where you might be able to acquire at a loss or whatever the case may be. I mean, just scrolling through that, I mean, do you not want to try the s'mores? Do you not want to try peanut butter chocolate? Do you not want to try, all the different flavors they have? If your name is Casey, then you do. I can say that for myself. We will continue to buy from them. They've earned, back to the other one that I've talked about, where, once you earn me as a customer, you're keeping me as a customer unless you do something to lose me, probably. Or somebody else does something even better, maybe. But again, love the product. Going to come back for more. John, you ready to close this thing out strong with your last product?
One. Here it is. It's that some plastic.
Oh man, it's a.
Can you tell what it is just by me showing?
Yeah, no, obviously.
Yeah, you lay on it. It's a spine thing.
Yep, totally.
You can put it on your chair, get nice straight posture, put it on the ground and lay on it. It adjusts, so it like has like a different. Maybe it has like different settings, so that's a little sharper. So yeah, I mean, really pretty simple product. But again, when you sit in a chair all day. You sit at a desk all day, definitely you get some back stuff. So I'll show you the ad, because this is a classic thing where it's like, look, ads where it's just an offer, right? Like you're offering someone a product, you probably have to acquire them profitably. You have to have really strong ads, really strong conversion. And this one, all the lifting was done by the ad. Okay, so the product, I'm not even going to show the product page because it's just pretty much a standard product page. It didn't really help convert me. Like Disco, the product page helped convert me. Stealth, the product page helped convert me. This one, all the lifting was done by the ad. So I think they could have done better with a thumbnail here, but here we go. So if you have had low back, mid back stuff at all, it's just an ad full of satisfying looking stuff. And they use the sound. Obviously that sound isn't real, but like the sound of a back kind of like popping, or like when you have like multiple cracks in your back and it's like, oh, that was nice. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, just showing use cases, showing satisfying stuff. How they show the spine diagram. Anytime you have a pain relief product, show that like human like spine diagram type thing they were doing. But honestly, like if your ad, this is what we've said before, if your ad does like a thing that's like, oh my gosh, that's really cool, it really does that, just show it doing that thing. You know what I mean? And that's like, simple.
I gotta say too, for this shot that's like currently on the screen right now, again, they didn't like overthink it and talk themselves out of a good shot here. Because I think somebody who's a little bit more concerned with like really high production value might be like, I mean, you can't just like show a hand come in and like slide it into his back, man. Like, come on, we gotta like, let's do something cool with like video transition fade. Like, hey, how about just do something simple and slide it down and like, it works. It really illustrates it kind of in a more powerful way than I think something more clever would do.
An opening shot, they nail the avatar, right? Like
Yeah. Oh yeah.
they hit that work, sitting at a desk avatar.
You basically have that same haircut.
I have
right?
that. Yeah, no, like I basically look just like that guy. That's actually me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have that similar setup, multiple screens. I have a little nicer chair than him, but yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I have a chair that kind of already supports my back, which is good. But like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. That honestly, there's not a lot to say about this one. If you have a product that does a really cool thing, just show it doing that thing. If you have an offer where you have to acquire people profitably, you really have to nail the ad, nail the hook, stop the scroll and get people like all the way through. This was another situation where it was like, see ad, buy product. And there's a barrier. You're like, okay, there's like a research phase and stuff like that. Yeah, there isn't that for every product you buy. Nobody, there isn't that for every product anybody buys. But it's a different barrier for everybody, right? So your barrier for like needing to hold off and not buy right away and research a product and stuff like that is more than mine. Like that, I clicked it and I was like, well, that's all right, like price wise. And that's part of why I didn't show the product page. I'm not trying to like, here's my barrier for like, I'll impulse purchase something that much. And I'm not trying to benchmark what an impulse purchase is. But like for me, it was in that the offer was strong enough that it's in the impulse purchase range, but it still probably drives a pretty strong AOV. They've got some upsells and stuff like that. The ad is strong enough that the value prop is already good enough for me to be like, yeah, I'll spend that. That's fine. And maybe even pleasantly surprised like by the price, right? So we've gone through an exercise before with kind of the Price is Right episode where it's like, hey, did they like build the value prop here with this ad well enough to like charge what they're charging? And they definitely did that for me. And it was in my zone of not having to research. So yeah, I don't know. That's really all. If you've got an offer, that's where you got to hit. You got to hit like if you have an offer where you have to acquire people profitably, you need to nail the ad, and then you need to nail the offer that will get in the maximum number of people's zone of like being able to buy it right now.
I like it. John, I have an idea if you'll indulge me
I will.
Instead of a traditional parting shot like we always do, I have kind of a fun little game to gamify it.
A game. All right.
If you're ready for it. It's impromptu. It's all on you.
I don't know if I'm ready for it since I don't know the game, but let's do it.
Do you remember the products that you showed, like what order you showed them in?
I remember what order I showed them in, yes.
Okay, cool. Rapid fire then. I want you like one sentence or just one phrase, whatever, or two or whatever. Tell me what you think was like the biggest takeaway from maybe each one of these things. Because I think we kind of did have unique things throughout. Like, I don't think there was much crossover even really. Like, we didn't plan it like that, but yeah, that's how it ended up. So, yeah. Hold on. Do I remember what order I showed it in? Yeah, I think so. Okay. Okay. So, product. Okay. Let's put the time on the clock. All right. John's going to have like 5 seconds on each one. Ready?
Okay. Want me to hold them up while I do it?
Yeah. I'll hold up mine too. Here. Ready? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, mine first. I started.
Yep,
ready? Cornhole bags. Biggest takeaway.
Oh, I say the biggest takeaway.
Yeah, you do all of them.
No, I want you to do yours. I can do mine.
Okay, that's fine. That's fair enough. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Parting shot. Take two. Here we go.
Yeah, cornhole bags. Go.
Cornhole bags. Share information. Provide information. Earn customers.
All right.
It's a little rough. Let's keep going.
It was rough. I would have said a different thing, but I didn't have a minute to think about it. Okay.
I wasn't ready either. I was ready to give it all to you.
Yep. Okay. Stealth board. Have a great product, and then marketing is the fuel.
Gotcha. Beats headphones. Top of mind, just general recall. Super important. Branding is important.
Yeah, crazy. Top of mind position. It can't be overemphasized. Okay. Disco. Oh, there we go. You just said branding is important. Disco, like eye stick. The performance branding 1-2 punch is super effective.
True classic tees. Know your avatars and sell to them based off what they want to see.
Nice. Okay. Muslin comfort. I could go a couple ways with this, but I'll go this way. Muslin comfort. Get yourself where traffic already is in the research phase.
High key snacks. When you have the perfect product for the perfect trend, just friggin' drive that sucker home and tell people to share them because they taste delicious.
Yeah. All right, spine deck. If you have an offer that you have to acquire profitably on, you have to nail your hook, ad, avatar, and pricing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did it. I think that was a pretty good little like mini version of the whole episode.
We
Honestly, we
basically
started
could
a
have
little
just
rougher.
We could have just done that, and that like could be it.
Yeah, it wouldn't have made a lot of sense to most people though. But I think we
Right.
started a little rough, just how we did to begin with, and we figured it out. I mean, I was really trying to stick to like, don't say a full sentence, and then it was like, that didn't go out great.
Yeah, I said a full sentence probably on the first one.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I liked it better with like 2 or 3 sentences. We really cleaned it up pretty well.
Yeah.
John, I think that probably does it for a parting shot. Unless I don't want to take away that.
No, dude. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one.
We've gone a little long here anyway. I had a good time though. Hope you all had a good time. John, hope you had a good time. Thank you for joining me. Modern Commerce, thank you for joining us. This has been a great time. If you've made it this far, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Nope. Hit that bell icon to get notifications about whenever we drop new videos, which is about once a week. In case you don't get notifications, come on back every week. Check it out. See what we got for you. And until next time, we'll see you.